Alright, crossplay, the dream of playing with your friends no matter what system they're on. In 2025, so many online games have it. There's Rocket League, Destiny 2, No Man's Sky, even Fortnite. Yet, one of Bethesda's biggest live service games still lacks it, Fallout 76. And recent statements make it clear, crossplay isn't delayed. It's practically impossible now. Let's break down exactly why Fallout 76 likely will never get full crossplay or cross progression and what that means for the community. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's get into it. First off, let's frame what fans have been missing just to make you mad. You can't jump into a server with a friend on a different console or PC. If you're on Xbox and they're on PlayStation, you cannot play together. Progress, camps, and inventory are siloed by platform. Xbox players can't bring their camp to PlayStation, and vice versa. Atomic Shop purchases, cosmetics, and DLC don't cross platforms. You have to repurchase or lose access to it. It's a limitation felt deeply by the player base, especially for those who switch platforms like I did. I went from the PS4, which I've been playing Fallout 76 on from the beginning, and I've switched to the Xbox. I just like it. Fallout 76 runs better. I'm not trying to get into a whole console war thing because I think console wars are stupid. They were fun back in the 80s and 90s, but not now. Now they're dumb. People take it way too seriously. But like I was saying, for those that switch platforms or want to play with friends who don't use the same hardware. But why hasn't Bethesda just added it? Just do it. Let's dig into their reasoning. In a recent article from Game Rant, Bethesda is delivering a grim reality. A crossplay or cross-progression feature is extremely unlikely. During a media event tied to Burning Springs, Bethesda's production director said, "It's never a no, but right now it's a huge technical lift for us to have crossplay or cross-progression." He went on to explain these decisions are often made at the very beginning of development. So all the way back in like 2018, they were like, nope, no crossplay, no cross-progression. So that means Fallout 76's foundation was never built on crossplay in mind. Trying to shoehorn it in now would require massive architectural changes. To drive that point home, developers have reiterated multiple times that the game's server structure, backend, and content systems are tightly bound to separate ecosystems, making cross-platform integration exceedingly complex. Let me put a finer point on it. Instead of fixing milepost 0, they're just getting rid of it. I made that video the other day. So they're not going to go through and rewrite code for the entire game just so I can bring over, I don't know, a vendor bot. So while Bethesda doesn't say never ever, their language and the technical hurdles suggest the dream may never be realized in any meaningful way. I'm sorry if I just broke all your hearts. Here's the major obstacles standing in the way. Engine and architecture. Fallout 76 runs on a modified creation engine with its own server and networking code. The engine was never set up for multiple platform universality, so retrofitting it is extremely costly and risky. If you don't like the bugs now, just think what a total refit would do. Next is platform policies and approval. At launch, one of the biggest roadblocks was Sony. Todd Howard once explicitly blamed Sony for blocking crossplay. Even though Sony's stance has softened in the recent years, the original agreements and licenses for the platform may still bind Bethesda. Another one, and this is a big one for a lot of people, anti-cheat and security concerns. Allowing PC players to mix with console players raises cheating, modding, and exploit risks. Bethesda would have to enforce stricter security, which could hinder PC flexibility or performance. And I know the PC people don't want that. Another issue is progression and store synchronization. Players have spent on atomic shop items and cosmetics tied to one platform. Ensuring that purchases, inventory, achievements, and progression remain consistent across systems is a logistical nightmare. And then there's a reason that has nothing to do with us. Return on investments and focus. We don't care about your return on investments. According to the devs, the cost of implement crossplay is likely greater than the benefit. The Bethesda team notes they'd rather focus resources on content, updates, and stability rather than reworking core infrastructure. So when you add up all these barriers, it's not just a matter of turning on a flag and saying, there you go, we just flipped the switch, everybody can play with everyone now. Have fun in the wasteland. We're talking a full rework of how Fallout 76 works at its base. Now, like I said, never say never, or whatever I said a little earlier. Bethesda isn't totally closing the door. It's never a no. That indicates they won't commit to never, merely that it's impractical now. Analysts and fans see this as hedging. They're playing both sides, so they always come out on top. It gives Bethesda wiggle room to revisit crossplay in future expansions or reworks, especially if technology or demand changes. With that said, at this point in 2025, with Fallout 76's architecture deeply matured and it's deeply matured. I wrote that. I did. Wow. And many systems settled, adding crossplay would be akin to retrofitting a skyscraper's foundation mid-construction, or retrofitting a skyscraper after it's already been built and sat around for 7 years. The risk might outweigh the reward. So yes, crossplay is technically not dead in wording, but practically it's all but dead for Fallout 76 as we know it. A lot of people in the community have long begged for crossplay. On Reddit, you'll find comments like, having no cross-platform sucks, citing lost playtime and fractured friend groups. A common sentiment, I bought the game twice so I could play it with friends. Wasted money if we can't join together. Here's a tip. I know Game Pass is getting a lot of flack right now, but Fallout 76 is free on Game Pass. Do what you will with that information. All this pressure from the community is known. Bethesda hears it, but hearing isn't the same as being able to act or listening. So, in conclusion, where does that leave us? Fallout 76 will almost certainly never get true crossplay or cross-progression. Not without a complete overhaul of its foundation. The devs themselves have called it a huge technical lift, and the cumulative cost and risk make it essentially impractical at this stage. With them saying it's never a no, it leaves a sliver of hope, but you know what? I'm going to say it again. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry. If you're one of those players who desperately wanted to play with friends on different platforms, I'm sorry. I truly apologize. I feel bad, but I don't know. Keep hoping. That's all I can say and wish. Now, are you still holding out for crossplay or cross progression? Put it in the comments. Or have you moved on? Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe. I can't wait to go to Ohio in the new update that's coming out in December. It's nowhere near me. I'm northeast. This is southeast, but I do know the area. So I'll nitpick it a little. Whatever. All right, bye.